are from Group 5. We're going to present about sign language. But before that, let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Muhammad Jalal Parisi with student ID number E1D022112.
My name is Kusnia.
My name is Oktede Surasmayanti.
Alright, so we're just gonna move on to the first topic. So for the first speaker, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. So here I wanna introduce you about sign language. The sign language is communication that use hand gestures, facial expression, and body language reading. So next slide. Okay, here there are four points to explain. First one, sign language is real language. Second one, sign language is pantomime. Third, arbitrariness language. And the last one, sign language research tool. Okay, number one, sign language. So sign language are independent language with their own grammar, vocabulary, and syntax. Much like spoken language. They can also very registered spoken language too. So the second sign language is not just pantomime. Another mix and sign language is pantomime to express complex ideas. The text argues that explaining the sign language system with its etymology, syntax, and semantics. For example, signs may have commands, but this does not mean that language is limited to physical representation of things. The third, arbitrariness of language in both spoken and sign language. Most sign words has a relationship with the things they represent. While some iconic may exist, the measurement influence arbitrary association with form and meaning. This flexibility in sign the culture of language, allowing for different communication systems. And the last one, number 4, sign language research tool. The study of sign language provides important things into language process, especially in terms of modality, vocal language, and also for understanding how language works can help users learn more about language process in general and neurological based language. So, conclusion here, sign language is not visual from spoken language, but a robust and independent language with its own rules and structures. Maybe that's me. Next speaker.
Okay, now processing sign language. Oh no, structure of sign language. Sign language have a structured linguistic system just like spoken language. They consist of phonology, morphology, and syntax, each playing a crucial role in communication. Phonology refers to the smallest units of a sign, including hand shape, movement, orientation, and location. Then morphology involves modification to signs that change their meaning. For example, repeating a sign can indicate a plural form, while changing the speed or direction of movement can modify verb tense. And syntax governs how signs are structured in sentence. Instead of relying on word order like spoken languages, sign languages often use spatial grammar, where signs are placed in specific locations to represent different subjects, objects of references. Next, processing sign language. Sign language is processed in the brain similarly to spoken language, providing that it is fully developed linguistic system. Studies show that the left hemisphere, which is responsible for processing spoken language, also plays a key role in processing sign language. Areas such as Broca's area linked to language production and Wernicke's area responsible for comprehension are activated when signers communicate. And production errors in sign language. Just like in spoken language, signers sometimes make errors while communicating. These errors often involve swapping hand shapes, movement, location, or orientation, similar to how speakers might accidentally mix up sounds or words. For example, a signer may intend to use one hand shape but mistakenly use another, just as a speaker might say cat instead of cap. Okay, thank you.
Alright, the next topic is categorical perception. So, categorical perception means we automatically assign speech or sign to specific linguistic categories, even at lightning fast speed. For instance, in spoken language, we use voice onset time or VOT to distinguish between AB and AP. These rapid categorizations allow us to process language efficiently. So now, what about sign languages? Studies like those by Emory and Friends 2003 have found that if signers show categorical perception of hand shapes. For example, signers are better at distinguishing hand shapes that across categorical boundaries, such as going from flat fingers to curved fingers. Interestingly, non-signers do not show this effect. Both groups, however, exhibit categorical effects for place of articulation, which may reflect universal properties of visual processing. Overall, these findings reveal the profound influence of language experience in shaping categorical perception in sign language. Next, let's talk about lexical access in sign language. Lexical access, or how our brains retrieve words or signs from memory. 4 factors shape how quickly we process language, and these factors are remarkably similar across spoken and signed modalities. So the first factor is familiarity. Signs that are more common are processed faster than rare ones. The second one is age of acquisition, or AOA, which means signs learned earlier in life are retrieved more rapidly. The third one is neighborhood size. If a sign has many neighbors, other signs with similar hand shapes or movements, it's retrieved faster. And the last one is semantic priming. We are quicker to recognize a sign when a preceding sign is related in meaning. Another area of interest is ambiguity. Unlike English, where 20% of words are ambiguous, sign languages like ASL have very low ambiguity rates. There's only 5%. Interestingly, Navajo, a spoken language, also shows low ambiguity, indicating that ambiguity rates are not necessarily modality dependent. This tells us that the core mechanisms of lexical access are universal, while specific modality effects shape how ambiguity is represented. Now let's turn to the next speaker, please.
Okay, the benefit of iconicity. Iconicity is perfect. Interesting. Iconicity is the similarity between of a sign object is represented. The sign language must have formed the original how it is used. The study shows that iconicity and of user the heightened work more quickly. This is like ASL recognition faster when they will present of the experiment shows USL and tested when the style had the message, the tip for time. For example, the ASL and for currently uses an mimic hearing with a loop behind ear. If the mimic shows hearing aid with a loop participant recognition, the connection between the image and the modifier. Non-signer experiment when hearing the noise. Participant will understand hear the word hear in English, but different reaction time between the next. Okay, language in space. Unlike spoken language with really on word order sound grammar and language spatial positioning flexible meaning are placed in the location in the meaning space to indicate a relationship between subject and object. For example, ESL assigns John to the right, Harry to the left. They can later move to desk position instead of repeating the name. Word order is not essential in sign language. Unlike spoken language where word or determining give Mary a book, Mary one of the sign language can indicate who is doing what to whom, social positioning and movement. For example, in ASL, the term for give move moves from the location of the giver to the receiver. Clarifying without needing a physical word. Okay, this all from me. This is the
All right. So we're on the last topic to discuss: physical space versus spatial representations. Sorry. So this too is critical aspect of sign language. Signers use space grammatically to show references, agreements, and relationships, but they also use space to describe visual scenes, like the position of objects in a room. So, are these two spatial abilities linked? No, it is not. Studies such as Poisner, Klima, and Belugi 1987 show these abilities are independent. For instance, patients with brain injuries may retain intact linguistic use of space, but struggle to accurately describe an actual spatial scene. Conversely, some patients lose linguistic skills, but can still demonstrate non-linguistic spatial knowledge. This dissociation highlights that sign languages utilize spatialized syntax as a formal grammatical system entirely separate from general visual spatial cognition. Thank you. And that's all from our group. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. That's all from our group. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ada.